Because people are uncomfortable, that means somebody on the team has to handle it after the fact, and people get selective memory. And don't let it be a hit record, because if it's a hit record, everybody thinks they contributed more than they did.
Yep.
And now it becomes a fight. And here's the unhappy surprise. Until you agree and everybody signs off, no one gets paid.
Nobody.
I got the cheat code to the street. Gotta make sure that my family. I get the cheat code, I'm a beast. They should've never let me out of lease. Stop all the cap, I'm just trying to see. You really back what you talk on the beat. They put me in, I'ma walk on the beat. I eat my plate and it made me obese. I been pushing lyrics like a kingpin. And when the day we got no.
Hey.
Olaf, Jinx, you owing everybody Cokes. You guys are twinning. I'm not with it. I wasn't in sync with that. I'm not.
You want to try it again?
No.
3, 2, 1.
Y'all can have it. I don't want it.
I gave you opportunity.
I don't want it now. It's not genuine. It's not how this works.
Pause. How you guys
It's
doing?
like y'all got together before this episode and we're like, we're just going to say it in
super
unison
good.
and just leave me out completely. People already think I'm a grouch.
Well, I usually
It's all right.
every other
I don't
episode
care.
I
I'll be the
do
grouch.
what you do, Olaf, and then
Olaf,
every other
I'll be-
episode I do.
I'm with
Wendy's.
it, you know.
Hey,
Yeah, I'll be the grouch.
Hey.
I don't have a problem being a grouch to the world, man. Listen, everybody out there, coders, hate me. Love Wendy. Love and cherish Ferrari. Hate me. That's okay. I'll be that. That's the role that I'll play in this family. Everybody has the one figure in the family that they really cool with. That's Ferrari. He's the uncle that comes and hangs out with you and stuff. Wendy drops off the cool gifts. And then here's the ogre ass dad, always coming around the corner yelling at somebody. Cut the lights off. Close the doors. Why is my
are we heating
refrigerator
outside?
open? Did you walk the dog? That's
why?
me.
Why? Because you pay attention to details.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess.
Yes.
I pay attention. That's
The truth is in the details.
The cost.
And who is in the shadows paying attention to the details?
The old man.
Kingeth of
Yeah.
pins.
I
King,
relish my
sir,
role. I'm not
king of
complaining
pen.
about it at all. I just wish I'd have been kept in the loop about I would have felt like I was a team player just then. But I'm in my feels right now. I'm allowed.
Let me
I've
ask
only
you
had one cup of
both a
coffee.
question though. In what we do, how important are the details?
Oh my God, very.
Everything. The devil
Everything
is in the details.
Yes. Everything is in the details.
If you're making a cake and you forget that 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, it won't taste right.
You don't have a cake. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And not having all of the ingredients. And that's why even with metadata and releasing a record, like not having all of the details, going to a studio and making a beat and not understanding before you went to the studio. Me and Wendy just had this conversation last night of where not having a clear understanding of what happens before you go to the studio. Why is it that question doesn't want to ever be asked before I go into this rant? Why is it before somebody tells you, hey man, come to the studio, why isn't the next question, how much do you want for it? Why is it always, okay, what time? Because as soon as you get to the studio, you've given up whatever you made while you were there.
Yep.
Because God forbid they're going to put it out. They're going to want their studio time recouped. God forbid they made a beat because then they're going to want an advance on the beat. And God forbid they contributed to a word because now they're going to want points on the record.
Who's going to own the masters? What are the splits?
Where did the beat come from?
Who's going to pay for the marketing and
Those are
promotion? Because if you
details.
don't market and promote it, you're
Right? Those are the details, right? Those are who's going to be at the studio. Is the engineer going to be there? Is the sound person going to be
And we
there?
can't say this needs to be taught because it is taught.
It is taught.
It should be.
It's people are uncomfortable having this conversation.
Okay. There you
Yes.
And because people are uncomfortable, that means somebody on the team has to handle it after the fact, and people get selective memory. And don't let it be a hit record, because if it's a hit record, everybody thinks they contributed more than they did.
Yep.
And now it becomes a fight. And here's the unhappy surprise. Until you agree and everybody signs off,
about to go
no
down the rabbit
one
hole.
gets paid.
Nobody.
No one.
So if there's an
gets
A&R
paid.
that felt like he should have had
No
his name
one
on there, nobody
gets
will get a
paid.
check, right?
The money gets frozen. And then
It's gonna get frozen for a while too.
For years. For years. It can take forever for people to decide who owns what.
The Glorilla record, FNF. Remember that?
Mm.
How long did that get? How long did that take to get cleared for the album? And it was Glorilla's song.
Nobody ever talked about it to begin with.
Nobody talked about it.
Do tell,
And not
do
just
tell.
talk about it. You have to have some sort of a split sheet. You have to have something in writing that says who owns what, because people get selective memory.
And
Oh,
where
yes,
do
they
you
do.
keep that information? Do you write that down? Do you keep it at your grandma's house?
Nope.
Do you put that in a safe? Where do you have that information? Me and my wife were talking on the way here this morning, and she was saying that she had met a lady who was 58 years old, who's an entrepreneur, and said that because she's not as tech savvy, she was having a hard time, getting acclimated with the new digital world, if you will. And it's because, she may not be familiar with Excel spreadsheets or Google
Right.
spreadsheets and any of these things that can help
Right.
her with her inventory.
Yeah.
Some of the
She's
stuff
gonna
that
have
becomes
to.
overwhelming, but
She's going to have to. She's going to have to catch up.
you got to do it.
Yes.
I keep contracts. The first thing I do when I sign a contract is I scan it. If I'm not signing it digitally, I scan it. I keep the actual contract in a file cabinet. Sometimes I'll make a second copy of it and send it to my lawyer if he doesn't already have a copy of it. And then the copy that I've scanned, I save to like 4 different hard drives.
I say, man, when artists get together and create beautiful music, I say, man, have that tough conversation immediately. Hey, man.
Agreed. Get used to it.
Let's go ahead and get the legal stuff taken care of now.
Yes.
Before we even get in here and make a hit, why would we wait till after somebody in the room may feel that one side deserves more than the other before trying to agree to an even? Why not discuss that before we even get into the room? If I don't have no leverage and I want to come to your studio and you want to produce for me, hey, bro, anything I make off top, I'm going to need $2,000 for a song. Thank you. I ain't got it right now, bro, even if I loved your music. So I'm going to go. No, you want me to come in here, bring all of my hopes and aspirations and pour onto this and let you butter me up because you know the game. I don't. So you know that as long as you get me to sit in here and make all these phenomenal songs, you get me to sit in here 20 hours and you charged Atlantic Records $300 an hour, then I owe you $6,000 on paper. Of course you want me to sit in here and make all of these records, my boy.
Tag me in. My intro for my show, Rari at 2. I asked Young Dro for permission to have the record. He gave me permission, right? Got it cleared, everything. Got all the legal stuff taken care of, uploaded it. Now I'm in the process of doing an intro for my radio station, my radio show in Tampa. Talking to an artist, and the conversation happens before he records the record. I said,
Yes.
hey, I want this to be my record featuring you, even though you're recording this. Are you okay with that? Guess what? Nah, I'm not okay with that, Ferrari. Okay, well, cool. I appreciate it then.
Now there's no extra resources. Now I don't got to
there's no
try to
love lost or
convince
anything.
you.
There's no beef.
It's
no
business.
There's
You
no
made a
business.
business
You respect his
decision.
decision.
It wasn't personal.
Because when someone
Correct.
Shazams how dope this intros is, I wanted to say
Ferrari
Ferrari,
Simmons.
and then it features you as the artist.
Exactly.
We had a guy that was doing the
exactly.
same thing, talking about details, right? He wants to be a primary artist on a project that he collabed on with some artists. He's got 4 artist profiles. This artist that he wants to collab with is not as big as he is. If we're talking about leveraging, right?
Yeah.
This person has more leverage, has more placements, has a more prominent name, right? Has history. This artist does it. This artist has all of their business together. This artist does it. Again, bro, whose fault is that?
Right.
So we're supposed to take all of the money and market and push all of these records that you want to make sure your name is tied to, and when it drops, which one of the 4 names does it go to?
Yeah.
Right.
What is it? With luck of the draw?
It is crazy.
And therein lies the problem with the details, is that not understanding what your distributor needs, not understanding what iTunes needs, what Apple Music, what Spotify, what Tidal, what Amazon needs. If you never bothered to connect your Amazon to your Twitch, then you would have never been able to measure how much more growth you were made on Amazon when you measured Twitch. And now
Right.
you won't be able to do that altogether. Ask me why.
Why?
Why?
Because they sunset the Twitch and Amazon connection.
What you gonna say, man?
I find that it's a lack of knowledge. It's a lack of understanding. And it happens with people that are even like very successful and famous in this industry. If you haven't had a certain experience or you haven't gone down the rabbit hole to discover something and learn something, then you're not going to know it. This is not an intuitive industry. It's a very difficult industry to be on the outside looking in and to learn things. And there are a lot of producers that don't know certain facts because they've never had to. There's a lot of artists that don't know certain facts because somebody else is always taking care of it. And I find that if people would just put a little time into learning and understanding, it would clear up so much.
It's so much unnecessary drama because what's going to happen is someone's going to do it if you don't do it.
Correct.
And then you're going to get upset
Especially if there's
and
money
try to
involved.
blame and put blame on somebody when you had the opportunity to do it yourself.
It's all on
Yes.
Like, for example, not to bring this up and bring us down another rabbit hole, when an artist has
Please
a
do.
good contract independently with funding, and then they get frustrated with it going at a turtle's pace sometimes, because at the end of the day, it's really you, bro. Like, it's not us. Like, we can do our job to the T.
Right.
It's going to be you. The people have to choose you. When that happens, I'm not a psychic. I don't know. All I know is I can prepare you for the fight. You have to get out there, and then the people have to say, yes, I want him to be my champion. If they don't do that, we have to continue to get ready. We continue to do things correctly, continue uploading things correctly. But the problem is artists get really frustrated because they're not really thinking.
They want it now.
Because they don't get me started. Because you want it now.
Because you want it now.
You
When
baby.
You know,
want it.
it's the
You little baby.
you don't show up to learn. You just want to show up to reap. You don't want to show up to work. You just want to show up to enjoy. And
Did
I
you
think
guys
that's a
know how
plague.
many open mics the Migos were at? These was everywhere.
Everywhere.
They were
I know.
at every open mic.
I remember.
They were at every
years.
club in the on the young person night. You know what I'm saying? I'll never forget. One time for Ray G. DJ Ray G believed in the Migos so much. He played their record over and over to a point where I remember one night I turned around and was like, bro, you done played this 10 times in a row.
I remember when Dollar Bill, aka Deb Antony, had Nicki Minaj and French Montana and all them guys, and they was running around the city, and they still popped up and performed at the Core DJ's New Artist Showcase in Atlanta.
They were doing
They had to do what they had to do to get on.
to do what they had
How
to do.
many of these people are willing to do what they have to do? They don't want to do anything.
and you need to do
I'm willing.
everything.
I'm
you
willing.
need to do everything. I don't care if you have to kiss dogs. Kiss the pet dog, kiss the mama, kiss the baby, kiss the twins, kiss the bad kid over there on the left, kiss grandma, kiss daddy, kiss mama. You got to give out everybody a kiss, a hug, and acknowledgement. God,
And you might have to do it 5 times.
yes.
Well, if you're trying to be of the people, if you're trying to be of the people, if you're trying to be a person who speaks to the people, then you might want to be the people.
Or guess what? If you don't want to do this, it's time for you to stop. Quit, my nigga.
Yes.
And let us find somebody else.
Yes.
But stop doing what? You want them to stop being taken care of?
No, I want you to stop doing music.
You want them to stop making excuses?
Just do this for a hobby. Just do this for a hobby and just get you a nice little day job.
Don't do it professionally.
Don't do it
Right. Like, get out of the
professionally.
way.
Just get out my way.
Get out of the way. Let somebody else who's really going to
Because
give
now
100%.
I had to set boundaries because I don't want to waste my energy.
Correct.
Somebody asked me one time, what is a professional? And I replied, well, a professional is somebody that gets paid to do a job, and they wear a suit and tie, and they were like, no, you're absolutely wrong.
that's-
A professional is somebody that shows up and does the job regardless of situation, circumstance, or surrounding.
Thank you.
A Marine is a professional because when bullets are going off and bombs are exploding around them, they know how to do their task. A neurosurgeon is a professional because when he's dealing in the brain, it wouldn't matter what happened around him, what he felt, how many arguments he had with his old lady, he's going to show up and he's going to deal with your brain. So a professional is somebody that can walk in and do their task regardless of situation, circumstance, or surrounding. It has nothing to do with compensation.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with compensation. And most of the people in this business refuse to do the work that it takes out of the desire to be compensated for whatever I guess they want to charge people for what they did to the Cold Crush. You know, I guess they want to go the Jay-Z route.
I
and
think that
you
if
did
you-
Elvis this way, so you're going to do it. Like, I get it, I guess.
I think if you
Whatever.
get into this industry for the money, you're a idiot, because there's not a lot of money in the music industry except at the very, very top.
Very,
I don't
very
know
top.
about y'all, but it took me 6 years to start making money in the music industry. It took me 10 years before I could support myself just from music.
Yeah.
I had to find another way. And this is not the new dope game. This is not it's not to say that the dope game's easy, but this is not easy. This is
The music
not free
industry is a
money.
vessel. It opens the doors for you to do jingles. It opens the doors for you to do films. It opens the door for you to do compositions. You think when the RZA was walking around writing Wu-Tang hits that he was thinking in his mind, I'm going to score a motion picture one day and be nominated for an Oscar award. You think that was the goal When
No.
3-6 Mafia sat down and was like, "Hey, we're gonna write a song and it may
get
or
an
may not
Oscar."
win an Oscar one day." You think that was the goal?
No.
Those people just worked, man.
Yes.
And they put out phenomenal pieces of content, and they had their business together. And some of those guys never have to release another record because they're able to make money for the rest of their life off of having their business together from the beginning. And that's what we're telling independent artists. If you're an independent artist and you're listening to the ones that have failed, those are the ones that refuse to pay attention. Those are the ones that let their manager charge them $600 for hotel rooms and $300 aspirin and $1,700 round trip flights and tickets to at Ruth Chris Steakhouse for everybody else. And come to find out, all that's out of my budget. You mean to tell me that's not money you could have gave me? That's money you had for my record. And your idea of pushing my record was paying for 10 Ruth Chris dinners across the country for PDs and people that don't even know who I am, but know who you are. That's your idea of marketing me? Yes, fool. Because you entrusted the wrong people, and the people that have been trying to tell you, pay attention, wake up, bozo the clown, take your wig off. The show is over. People have gone home. Wipe your makeup off, clown. Take off the clown shoes. It's okay. Take the horn out of your pocket, bro. Take the banana out of your pocket. Sit down, and while you're looking in the mirror and everybody is gone and all the kids have gone home and there's nothing but popcorn and garbage on the floor, what do you have left?
And on top of that, don't have a buzz and then you do the wrong thing. And then for some reason, the momentum stops. What you said, Kingpin? Because when
it stops completely, and once it pitfalls, you can't recover from that, bro. You want to explain to Wendy Day why your last 5 records have a spike up and a spike down? Goofball, that is the explanation. She opened the email for publicly accessible information and she saw that you don't know how to drop a record because every time you drop one, it goes up and the next day it comes down, you jack. You don't get to explain it. It's already been explained. No, because what happened was, bro, is that when I put the record out, I went to jail, and then my cousin took the hard drive, bro, and my baby mama kicked me out, bro, and I've been doing this. That's not the reasons, bro. The reasons is you're a jack and you decided to wake up and wanted to learn what the password was to the new Madden, fool. You didn't want to learn how to properly meta tag a song before you release it, jack. Yep. To you, knowing when the new Jordans came out was more important than knowing what an ISRC is and how it's assigned. For you, knowing what color shoes or where to go get the new clothes for the discount in the mall is more important than knowing how a UPC code is assigned and how the money is made once that's more important to you, bro, is what you do after you make the money than how to make the money. And that's why most of y'all don't want to be saved. You don't even want to be rescued, bro. You want to be babied. You want a daddy. You don't even want a mommy. You want a daddy. You want somebody to come through and be like, "Daddy, can you do this for me? Because I won't do it for myself." And that's the reality of it. And the minute some of you grown men and women wake up and decide that you don't need a daddy, you just need to do it yourself, then you'll be better off. Until then, continue to sit around and pocket watch and be mad at somebody else for helping you achieve the dream that you're slapping them in the face with every time you decide not to do your work.
Until then, ho, why is you here?
cheat code.
Yeah, bish. Itty bitty. Get 2 sweaters, bro. That way I ain't got to keep wearing the same ones.